I said I never needed to go back. That was a lie. Or maybe it wasn't a lie yet when I said it. Maybe it only became one 4 months later, on a Tuesday night, driving home from a shift that ran too long, taking a turn I didn't mean to take. I've thought about that turn a lot since then. Whether I actually chose it, or whether something chose it for me. It's a 40-minute drive out to Aldridge Lane from town. I hadn't done that drive since the day I signed the closing papers and handed the keys to a couple named Miller. Young, polite, excited about the acreage. They'd asked me questions about the house, how old the wiring was, whether the well ran dry in summer, normal questions. I answered all of them honestly except one. They asked if the house had ever felt strange to me. I said no. I don't know why I lied. Maybe because the truth would have cost me a sale. Maybe because saying it out loud, to strangers, in daylight, in a lawyer's office, would have made it real in a way I wasn't ready for. So I found myself outside that house again, engine off, hands still on the wheel, wondering why I'd taken a 40-minute detour to get to an apartment 11 minutes from my office. The porch light was on. That surprised me. I don't remember that fixture ever working when Eleanor was alive. Half the wiring in that house was original to the 60s, and she'd never had the money or the patience to fix things that weren't strictly necessary. A porch light that worked felt like a small, stupid thing to notice. But I noticed it, and then I saw the curtain move in the front window. Just a shift, a fold of fabric settling, or catching a draft. That's the explanation I gave myself in the 2 seconds before my whole body went still, the way it used to go still at 2 a.m. in that house, listening for a sound I already knew was coming. Someone was standing behind that curtain, not moving, just standing there, watching the car. I should have driven away. I know that now, the same way I knew it the first time. 11 nights and 11 mornings, of telling myself I'd leave tomorrow, and never once meaning it. Instead, I turned off the engine the rest of the way, and I got out. The mailbox at the end of the driveway still had the Miller's name on it, hand-painted, cheerful. No car in the driveway, no lights on except that single porch bulb and whatever I thought I'd seen upstairs. The front door was unlocked. My hand found the handle before I decided to reach for it. I stepped inside. The layout hadn't changed. The staircase still rose up past the entryway into a darkness I used to fall asleep listening to for 11 nights straight. New paint, new furniture, someone else's life layered over the top of what I remembered, like tracing paper over an old drawing. But underneath the smell of fresh paint and somebody's vanilla candle, there was something else. Cold and faintly metallic, the way the air used to feel around me at 2 a.m., 11 nights running. And then I heard it, footsteps, upstairs. Slow, deliberate. I stood at the bottom of the stairs, one hand still on the doorframe behind me, and I did something I hadn't let myself do the first time, not until the 9th night, not until I had no fight left in me. I did it now, on the first night, without hesitation. I stopped being afraid, and I just listened. The footsteps reached the top step, stopped, and a voice came down through the dark. Not the tired, worn-down voice I remembered, the one that sounded like Eleanor near the end, quiet and fading. This voice was younger, clearer. It said my name. And underneath the fear, something in me recognized it. Not as a stranger's voice, not as anything wrong or hostile, but as an echo. My own voice, or close enough to it. The house wasn't showing me Eleanor this time. It was showing me myself. The version of me that never came. The version that let 6 years turn to silence, frozen forever at the top of a staircase, still deciding whether to pick up the phone. I understood then what I'd actually driven 40 minutes to do. Not to see the house, not even to see Eleanor, if some part of her really was still there. I'd come back to finally answer the version of myself that never picked up. So I climbed the stairs. I didn't run from it, and it didn't run from me. When I reached the top, there was nothing there, no figure, no shape, just an empty hallway and a bedroom door standing slightly open, the same door to the same room where I used to hear a chair that didn't exist. I stood in that doorway for a long time, and then quietly I said the only thing that felt true. I came back. I know it's late, but I came back. The cold left the air first. Then the house went still in a way that had nothing frightening left in it. Settled quiet, the same way it had gone quiet on the 11th night, all those months before. I let myself out the front door the way I'd come in. I never told the Millers I'd been there. I never went back again, and I never needed to. Whatever was waiting in that house wasn't Eleanor's ghost, not really, and it wasn't a warning either. I think it was just unfinished business. Mine, not hers, waiting for me to finally show up and close the door on it myself. I visit my mother every week now. I answer the phone when people call, even when I'm tired, even when it's inconvenient. I learned that lesson twice. Once from a woman who died alone 40 minutes outside of town, and once from a version of myself I met at the top of a staircase 4 months after I thought the story was already over. Some hauntings aren't about the dead refusing to leave. Sometimes they're about the living, refusing, for just a little while longer, to finally arrive.